Well, welcome to our third stop on the Downtown History and Beer Tour. We're here at Streatside Eatery to enjoy from Medicine Hat Brewing, a Burnside Blood Orange Ale. And if you ever get a chance to come to this amazing downtown and fine establishment, come here. I personally recommend the pasta salad. I love it. It's one of my all-time favorites. And our original Lethbridge Business Breakfast Club meets here.
We do.
Every Wednesday morning, and that's excellent as well.
Yeah, it's been over 20 years.
20 years.
And I like the Chicken McMurrow.
The Chicken McMurrow. There you go. You got two recommendations, which is awesome. And we're here, Medicine Hat Brewing. Amazing brewery out of Medicine Hat.
They're an award-winning brewery. They've won several awards in recent years for craft brewing.
That's exciting. And
yes.
We've got the Blood Orange.
Yes.
Burnside Blood Orange. It's at 4.5% alcohol by volume. So great summer beer in my opinion already. I haven't even tasted it, but I would assume it would be more of a session based.
Well, it would. And even before we taste it, Roy, go ahead. But there's so much aroma from this beer because of the orange puree that they add to the beer. It's a basic wheat ale that is the base for this beer. And as soon as you crack that can, wow, the aroma just pops right out at you, and it's just amazing. You'll notice in previous beers, you've noticed that we've talked about how clear the beer is. In this case, it's a bit cloudier, and there's two reasons for that. One is because of the puree, the actual fruit that's part of the beer, but also it's cold. And that's good because it helps our enjoyment of the beer. But if you're put off by cloudiness, don't worry about it. It's basically the fruit and the yeast that's in the beer.
The yeast that kind of gets in there makes it cloudy.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, for myself, I love the yeast sediment that's in the beer. I love when it's mixed in. So for me, if you took a wit beer and you actually poured it without the yeast, it would be a bit more clear.
Yes.
You add the yeast sediment and it actually gets a bit cloudy. And for me, when I see it cloudy, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Personally, as a beer drinker, I love it.
Yep, you're right, Roy. You'll notice also that there isn't much head or froth on this beer. That's partly because of the amount of fruit that's in there, and partly because of the temperature of the beer. It's a hot July, and we're drinking a cold beer.
Yeah, and so, my taste, my final impressions, amazing.
Very, very amazing.
You could drink this on the patio. It's a wonderfully refreshing beer. It's got a great, for me, it's got almost like a balanced sour taste a little bit, right? It goes on that end. I absolutely love it. George, what do you think?
It is a bit of a sour, which is a category unto its own. But the orange flavor of this beer will come up and smack you upside the head, and that's a good thing.
It's a great thing. All right, well, we'll see you at your next stop. If you ever get a chance, come down to Streetside Eatery. Look for the owner manager Steve O'Seen, and tell him George and Roy sent you.
So we're outside Streetside, and considering that Streetside decided to use the streets and avenues of Lethbridge as part of the names for their menu, it makes sense to be talking about the streets and avenues. So we're standing here on 8th Street. And if you had been here on 8th Street in the late 1800s, early 1900s, in some ways we could have considered this like Church Street. We had 4 churches between 1st Avenue and 4th Avenue. St. Patrick's Roman Catholic, then St. Augustine's Anglican, Wesley Methodist, and then Knox Presbyterian. Those churches all moved a little bit further east, more around City Hall today, and this area changed into a little bit more of an industrial area. In 1919, Coca-Cola opened a factory here on 8th Street South. Western Monument has been here since 1905, again, light industry. After the Second World War, the street had another change, and it became much more about a commercial street with a lot of appliance stores, and that's what this beautiful building was. The large windows of this building give you a sense of the original purpose, and the windows would let the light in and let people know what was for sale in this building. It was constructed, this building, around 1945 and was Lethbridge Appliances with B. Durfee and Alfred J. Calhoun as the owners. And considering the building boom at that time, how many people were building houses, it was probably a very busy place to come and buy the appliances for your new building. And as I said, Streetside has incorporated many of the original street names into their building, so you can have like the Bompus Burger, which is 5th Avenue South, and so you can learn about the streets of Lethbridge from the menu here in the building.